When we think about the Constitution, we picture something ancient, old parchment, fancy calligraphy, powdered wigs. But here's the thing, the Constitution isn't just a relic from 1787, it's more like a living, breathing thing, growing with every generation. When the Founding Fathers first wrote it, the Constitution mainly protected white, land-owning men. If you weren't in that club, well, your rights weren't exactly front and center. But that's not where the story ends. Over centuries, through struggle, protest, and endless debates, the Constitution has changed to protect nearly everyone, regardless of race, gender, or background. This expansion of rights is one of the most important stories in American history. So how did it happen? The founders actually planned for change. They knew the country would grow and shift, so they included a way to amend the Constitution, sort of like adding branches to a tree that already has strong roots. But amending the Constitution isn't easy. You need big-time agreement from Congress and most states. That's why it's only happened 27 times in over 200 years. Some of those amendments are huge. The Bill of Rights added things like freedom of speech and religion. After the Civil War, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery, the 14th guaranteed equal protection under the law, and the 15th said you can't deny someone the right to vote because of their race. Women gained the right to vote with the 19th Amendment after decades of activism. The 24th Amendment got rid of poll taxes that kept poor Americans from voting, and the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age to 18, because if you're old enough to be drafted, you should have a say in who's in charge. But it's not just about amendments. The Supreme Court also plays a huge role. Through landmark cases, the court has interpreted the Constitution and expanded rights. In Brown v. Board of Education, racial segregation in schools was ruled unconstitutional. In Gideon v. Wainwright, the court said states must provide lawyers to people who can't afford them. And in Obergefell v. Hodges, same-sex couples gained the right to marry. Here's a common misconception, that the Constitution always spelled out all these rights. It didn't. It's evolved thanks to amendments, laws, and court decisions. Some people think the Constitution never changes, but it was written to be flexible. Phrases like due process allow judges to apply its principles to new situations the founders never imagined. Of course, the journey isn't over. There are still debates about exactly whose rights should be protected and how. But that's not a flaw, it's the whole point. The Constitution gives us a system for arguing, changing, and moving closer to those ideals of liberty and justice for all. So next time you hear about constitutional rights, remember, they weren't handed down fully formed. They were fought for, expanded, and redefined by people just like us.